Have you ever looked at your pipeline and thought, man, I have a lot of leads just sitting here. I really should have closed more of them. Or have you gone through in your weekly review of your CRM, taken a look at all of your ghosted and non-responsive prospects? Then this is the video for you. Now, we use long-term follow-up strategies at my company Lever Growth to help dozens of agencies and B2B services book more calls and close more deals every single month. Now, today I'm going to be revealing the exact frameworks and real examples of long-term email follow-ups that actually converted prospects into qualified leads. I've spent the last 2 years digging into these concepts so you don't have to. And in this video, I'm going to boil down into 5 core concepts that make the strategy super effective. Now let's dig into it. So, in terms of concepts. So first thing here, we always provide value. That's going to be the first and most important aspect of any kind of follow-up. And this is going to be in the form of social proof, sales assets, lead magnets. Second concept is we'll follow a standardized follow-up cadence. So if somebody replies with some interest, you respond immediately, ideally within the first 5 minutes. From there, they're going to get a follow-up every couple days until you've reached about 3 or 4 follow-ups. And from there, that's when you start to do a long-term nurture. So these long-term nurtures, email comes out every 15 to 30 days. They're going to be super high value clients. Then you want to be following up on a more regular basis. They're less of a good fit, then you'll want to cool off on that, obviously, to save your time and your resources. But ultimately, if you are staying in front of them every couple weeks to a month, you're going to be in a good spot to convert when the time is right. The third step here is we want to just make sure that we're alternating value add with bump follow-ups. So you've seen bump emails, bumping this to the top of your inbox. Hey, just making sure you saw that. I don't love to send those as a base case. And the reason why, they don't add value. So if you want to just sprinkle it in there in terms of just finding a way to re-engage the prospect because perhaps they maybe did just miss it, this is a strategy to basically get you to do that. Now, if the prospect does say stop or unsubscribe, then immediately remove them from your follow-up cadence and never hit them up again, plain and simple. Otherwise, I'd recommend just following up in perpetuity. If they've given some indication that they're interested, that's the green light. Just keep going. But always add value. That's how you're going to prevent yourself from getting marked as spam and ultimately being a nuisance, which nobody wants to be. And then the last thing here is just the goal is to ultimately re-engage the prospect with our messaging. You don't need to sell the final product or the final service. You're just selling them to take the next step, which is typically going to be taking a meeting with you in the terms of cold email. So let's think about these in terms of a couple buckets and frameworks. So the first, again, it's going to be that bump, that reminder message. Hey, is this not a priority right now? So a little FOMO there, always very effective. Now, if you have a new sales asset, a new training, a new lead magnet, a new YouTube video, something that's valuable, that's a good reason to be reaching back out to your prospect and then reminding them, hey, you can learn something that's solving the specific problem that you might be facing. Usually these are going to be fully built out documents, long form assets. They're going to have the most amount of value, ultimately the highest level of conversion there. Another bucket that we'll be leveraging are case studies. So these are going to be specific to a client, and they will always show whatever the process that you used in order to generate a quantifiable result. So the basic framework that we will focus on is what was the before in terms of working together, like how was the prospect or your existing client feeling? What problems were they facing before working with you? Then what was the process that you actually did in order to get the results? And then finally, what were the actual quantifiable results in working together? That's the main framework in order to put together a valuable and a useful case study. So in terms of social proof, it's going to be things like client success stories, new testimonial, a client win. These can be more of a soundbite, can be a quick update, less friction, a little bit more of a catch up, just keeping the prospect into the loop. And you always want to include some call to action, but with these, they're a little bit more offhand. Their prospect is getting a sense for your personality when you're reaching out as well. Ultimately, the value is the most important thing, but you don't want to come off as a robot. So, just sharing, hey, they're a relevant vertical and you help the client that's in that vertical, it's worth it to share it, right? So let's move into some of the actual frameworks and how we actually leverage them. So let's talk about case studies. So this is one especially useful if you're selling a service to another B2B business. Now, we have been successful working with whatever the vertical is, mention the company name for the last time frame to help achieve a specific quantifiable result. Would you like to see a case study and video testimonial of other vertical brands that we have helped generate that specific outcome? Then you can decide if it makes sense to discuss further. Now, this is just a framework, but why does it work? So first, you're providing social proof that builds trust. The second is a value add that's going to be basically showing the prospect how to solve the actual problem that they're facing in their role. If that's interesting to them, they'll raise their hand, you share the document, and you re-engage in conversation, again, pushing them further down your funnel to ultimately take a meeting or take the next step. So a couple of examples that we've actually leveraged in the past. Hey Name, we recently helped one of our clients increase their Shopify conversion rates by 10%, increase their annualized revenue by $700,000, and broke records during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I put together a case study showing how we did it. Would you like to check it out? So shows exactly what you did, how you did it, and when you did it, and then shares, hey, this is a case study. You want to check it out. Another example that has worked for one of our clients. So we've been successful working with Consumer Brand, the name of the company, for the last 12 years to develop music, lifestyle, collegiate marketing programs that add new paying customers. Would you like to see 5 case studies and video testimonials of other consumer brands that we have helped drive over 400 brand activations, millions of impressions, certain amount of revenue? Then you can decide if it makes sense to chat further. Again, we're giving them the context of what it is that you're doing and the problems that you're solving. This is going to be the social proof component saying, hey, 5 case studies, testimonials. Then again, it's sharing what was the specific quantifiable end result that the client actually achieved in working with them. So again, another really good example there. So let's move on to trainings or lead magnets. Now, this is all interchangeable, but the high level thing here is you want to just provide exactly what it is that's inside the document and why they should care. So here's the framework. Hey Name, I wanted to share a document, a video, a training that I created showing you how to achieve that outcome that's specifically relevant to them. It covers thing 1, thing 2, thing 3. And this will give you an overview explaining how everything works with some good knowledge that you may be interested in, whether we work together or not. And so this kind of leans out. It's not as needy. It's definitely higher frame and can go a long way in getting somebody to engage, because if you're forcing it down their throat, they're not necessarily going to take it the right way. So this is a way to kind of like lean out a bit. And so again, you have a kind of a soft call to action here. This is a really strong framework. And the reason why it works is it provides a payoff to the prospect and it gives reasonable proof that the solution works. Right? So you can use videos, training guides, lead magnets, whatever it is that you're creating, and using that to follow up in this manner. So here's another example we used for a client that actually converted to a meeting. Hey Name, we booked 38 internal sales appointments in January 2024 with value first cold email outreach. I made a guide showing you the exact frameworks that we use to find, contact, and schedule 30 sales appointments per month and how you can use them consistently to fill your pipeline with high quality appointments without having to hire a full-time appointment setter. Any interest in checking it out? So share the exact problem that you're solving, booking 38 sales appointments, showing you exactly how you do it, what's the payoff here, find, contact, schedule sales appointments each month. And then it also even includes like what that icky thing is that they don't want to do. So that means have to hire an appointment center because they know that takes time, money, effort, all that good stuff. So that's why this is a good framework here. Here's another example. Hey, I wanted to share a 71-page document I created showing you how to turn ice cold leads into paying clients using cold email and sales assets. I spent the last month in a total of 40 hours creating this guide showing you how to do deliverability, define your ICP, script writing, response handling, and using sales assets to improve conversions. Now, this will give an overview explaining how everything works with some good knowledge that you may be interested in, again, whether we work together or not. And so any interest in discussing how we can help execute this for you. So again, very similar to the first one, but different in terms of explaining with a little bit more detail exactly what's inside of it. But again, there's a payoff here in terms of sharing the end result, gives a little context on what it is. Oh, it's a big document. And again, like what is it helping the prospect learn how to do? And that's turn ice cold prospects into paying clients, specifically using this mechanism, cold email and sales assets. And then again, call to action, pretty simple. So let's move down to social proof. Now, here's a good framework that we've used in the past. Hey name, again, happy day of the week. You can customize it to whatever it is. We've been helping a specific vertical achieve a specific result with the mechanism. In this time frame, we've helped case study 1 get the result, case study 2 get the result, case study 3 get the result. If you're considering achieving this result, please let me know. I'm happy to provide a video or case study with the expected outcome, like some suggested improvements. It's our way of showcasing our skills and talent, right? So a way that you would actually include this in a message is, hey, happy Friday. We're helping B2B businesses generate ROI with cold email outreach. In November 23, we helped performance marketing agency close a deal worth $17K. A B2B agency book 10 client meetings, and another content generation platform book 7 high quality sales calls. Would you be interested in seeing how we can help you do something similar? Right? So you're giving them context on exactly what the results are and the company and what vertical they're in. And then in terms of like giving the intro, calling out exactly who it is you're working with and what they're specifically trying to do is generate ROI. And then this is the unique mechanism that we refer to here. November 23, that's the time frame. And again, pretty simple call to action. Basically just saying, hey, would you be interested in seeing if we can help you out? No, you're not going in hard for, hey, we can definitely help you. We know we can. We're going to be able to help you get these exact same results. No, like you lean out a bit and you say, hey, maybe it makes sense to have a chat and see if it's a good fit for both of us. So here are a couple other examples. But basically like, hey, our clients are booking 69% of all meetings with cold email follow-up. I've recently put together a guide with some framework showing you how we do long-term nurture without sounding needy. Would you be interested in checking it out? It's one example that's converted. Another one, hey, wanted to share a quick client win. One of our clients closed a $17K deal, generating ROI of 3.5 times after just 4.5 months of working together. I put together a case study showing how we did it. Would you like to check it out? Again, right? Like the point here that you'll see it's consistent. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every time, but really the goal here is to just keep pushing the value. So what is the end result? What kind of vertical are you specifically solving the problem for? And what is the actual problem that you're solving? And then, how is it being communicated? Through a case study, through a Loom audit, through a YouTube video, through a lead magnet. Like just keep thinking about ways in which you can communicate your ideas in a long form format. And if you just do it in 10 or 15 different ways, you can just interchange all of them and just, never have to make new content ever again and just continue to follow up and have 15 different follow-ups and you can interchange them and work an entire pipeline for free. So pretty simple. So another one here. Hey, we recently helped B2B startup Coast 10x their lead flow, which resulted in a 70% increase in conversions with our paid ads program. I put together a sales asset showing how we did it. Mind if I share it here? Right. So that's another one, saying, hey, this is the company name. This is the end result. 10x their lead flow, getting 70% more conversions, and then paid ads is the mechanism. Right. Another example, hey name, we recently helped one of our clients increase their Shopify conversion rates. We already kind of went through this one, so I'm not going to do it again. Hey name, I put together a full training on it on how to build a conversion-focused product page. This is the same blueprint we've used to help brands like Life Pro Fitness increase their annual revenue by $1.35 million with their CRO system. Would you like to see it? So in this case, all right, this is the blueprint. This is the social proof. Help the brands like Life Pro Fitness. This is the end result. Annual revenue by $1.35 million and CRO system, that's the mechanism. Would you like to check it out? All right, so this one here, hey name, here's the case study showing how we helped Dermaclara add 700K in annualized revenue with a 10% increase in conversions. After you've had a chance to review, we should discuss how you help you do something similar. What works? Another example here, hey name recently created a training resource showing how we're helping our B2B clients. And then you name the clients. And then this particular one is working with B2C as well, generate more revenue in 90 days with our fractional CMO program. Mind if I shared some more info on how we did it? So just a couple more examples here. Hey Name recently put together a case study showing how we helped run a TikTok hashtag campaign for a collab with Nike Air Max and JD Sports, which generated 3.1 billion views, 1.2 thousand UGC entries, and added 13,000 followers to JD's TikTok. And then this one, I'd probably have a call to action, because if you don't have that, they're not going to respond. So that was, I would say, mind if I share some more info on how we did it. And the last one here, hey, the reason for my email is that we're helping brands generate the result. I have some more ideas around how you can get that result. Mind if I share it here? But high level, to do long-term follow-up, it's not brain surgery. Just make sure you're adding value each step of the way. Just provide the prospect with the reason why you're reaching out. It's especially useful if it's solving their pain points and if it's highly relevant. Relevance over personalization every time. That means that if they're feeling the problems that you're solving for, there's going to be a much higher % chance that they're going to be enticed to re-engage with you in your follow-up. Now, if you found some value in this video and you'd like to see more, I'd love to see some comments. If you want to like, subscribe, let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you want to see more of, and I'd be happy to, make some content that you guys want to see. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.